Every year, millions of people visit America's national parks. They come for the forests, the mountains, the silence, the beauty. But every year, some of them never return. They walk into the woods. They take a short trail. They turn a corner. And then, nothing. No tracks. No clues. No remains. Just a sudden absence. A disappearance so complete that it feels impossible. And when investigators place these cases side by side, something even stranger emerges. Patterns, repeating details, stories separated by decades and thousands of miles, yet eerily similar. Tonight, we're looking at two of the most unsettling cases. Cases that have haunted search teams, baffled investigators, and left families with no answers. And by the end, you may start to see the same pattern they did. A pattern that raises a disturbing question. What is happening inside America's national parks? And what does it keep happening? It's June 14th, 1969. Father's Day weekend. A family trip to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The Martin family had done this trip for years. Hiking, camping, enjoying the outdoors together. Their youngest son, 6-year-old Dennis, was excited. He was quiet, shy, but playful. That afternoon, he and 2 other children decided to pull a harmless prank. They were going to hide in the bushes, wait for the adults, then jump out and scare them. It was innocent. Simple. Just a few steps off the trail. The other boys went to one side of the field. Dennis went to the other. He was only gone for a moment. But when the boys jumped out, Dennis wasn't with them. They called for him. No answer. The adults joined in. Still nothing. They searched the bushes, the nearby trees, the open field. Within minutes, panic set in. Dennis had vanished. And that moment began one of the largest search and rescue operations in the history of the national park system. Hundreds of people joined the search. Rangers, volunteers, tracking experts, even a team of Green Berets. Days passed, then weeks. But something about the disappearance felt wrong from the beginning. Search dogs couldn't find a scent. Not even right where he'd last been seen. There were no footprints. No fabric caught on branches. No signs of an animal attack. Nothing. And then came the strangest part. Just a few hours after Dennis disappeared, another family, miles away, reported hearing a child scream. They said they saw something moving in the trees. A figure. Tall. Ragged. Human-shaped, but not quite. The Park Service never confirmed that sighting. They wrote it off as unrelated. But the timing was exact. Too exact for some. Theories began to form. Was it an abduction? An animal attack? A tragic accident? None of the theories fit. For a child that small to move so far, so fast, across impossible terrain, it didn't make sense. The Green Berets kept their findings private. They didn't share reports with local authorities. They operated independently, saying little. And after weeks of searching, the trail went cold. 50 years later, Dennis Martin has never been found. Not a bone. Not a shoe. Not a scrap of clothing. It's as if the forest simply erased him. The next case took place in Yosemite National Park, a place known for its beauty and for its vanishings. It's July 1981. A 14-year-old girl named Stacy Arras is on a horseback trip with her father and a group of tourists. They stop at Sunrise High Sierra Camp, a popular rest point on the trail. Stacy gets off her horse and decides to take a short walk to photograph a nearby lake. The lake is close. It's visible from the camp. Her father can still see her walking. She's not alone at first. An older man from their group walks with her. But partway there, he sits down to rest. Stacy continues on her own. She walks only a little further. And then, she's gone. Just like that. Her father looks up. He can't see her anymore. He assumes she moved behind a tree or a rock. But when minutes pass and she still hasn't returned, he goes to look for her. He calls her name. Silence. A ranger is alerted. More people join the search. Hours pass. Then a full day. Then more. Helicopters fly overhead. Search dogs sweep the area. Experts track the ground for footprints. Nothing. Stacy's walk was short. Straightforward. Visible. Safe. There was no cliff. No river. No predator signs. Yet she vanished so completely that searchers found no trace of her at all. And then the mystery deepened. Journalists began requesting access to the case files. The National Park Service refused. They sealed large portions of the documents. To this day, parts of the case remain restricted. Why? What could possibly be in those files? The Park Service has never explained. They claim the files contain sensitive information. But the secrecy has only fueled suspicion. How does a teenager vanish just a few steps from a busy campground, with no evidence? No tracks. No clothing. Nothing. It's a question that remains unanswered. And Stacy Arras is still missing. Two stories. Two different parks. Two different decades. Yet the similarities are hard to ignore. When researchers began mapping disappearances across U.S. parks, consistent patterns start to appear. The first pattern is suddenness. Victims vanish within minutes, often within sight of friends or family. There's no struggle, no warning, just a sudden drop off the map. The second pattern is the lack of physical evidence. No footprints, even on soft ground. No scent trails for dogs to follow. No remains found, even after years of searching. The third pattern is location. Many disappearances occur near water, boulder fields, ravines, berry patches. It's strange, almost too specific. Yet case after case fits the same categories. There's also a fourth pattern, impossible distances. When bodies are found, if they're found at all, they sometimes appear miles away from where the person vanished. In places that are extremely difficult to reach. Steep cliffs. Dense brush. Areas search teams already inspected. And then there's the fifth pattern, clothing anomalies. Some victims are found missing shoes, missing socks, or found with clothing neatly removed, even when temperatures were freezing. Search and rescue teams have privately acknowledged these patterns. They don't have explanations for them, but they see them again and again. So what causes it? There are several theories. Some believe these are tragic but ordinary accidents. People fall, get lost, get injured, and nature takes its course. Others believe human predators may be responsible, but the timelines often seem impossible. No tracks, no signs of a struggle, no witnesses. Some blame wildlife, but attacks leave evidence. These cases rarely do. Others look at geography, strange terrain, thin air, sudden weather changes. But even that doesn't explain everything. And there is one more detail, a pattern that makes investigators uncomfortable. The missing persons files kept by the National Park Service are incomplete, fragmented, sometimes missing entirely. In some cases, like Stacy Arras, are kept partially sealed. The question is, why? No single theory explains every case, and no theory fully fits the impossible nature of these disappearances. Something is happening in America's national parks. Something we don't fully understand. Something that leaves almost no trace. And the people who go missing often vanish so completely that it feels like the forest itself swallowed them whole. The national parks are beautiful, peaceful, majestic, but they're also vast, wild, untamed, filled with places no one has ever explored, filled with dangers no one has fully mapped. Most visitors who enter the parks return without incident, but some simply disappear. Dennis Martin, Stacy Arras, and many, many others. Their stories are separated by time and distance, but connected by the same chilling details, the same empty trails, the same unanswered questions. What happened to them? Where did they go? And why do these disappearances follow such familiar patterns? Tonight's cases don't offer answers, only reminders that even in the most beautiful places, even in the most protected lands, there are mysteries we still can't solve. And the forest keeps its secrets forever.